This is known as the attention getter. That should do it. Yep, welcome back. I'm George. This is Barley and Hops, and we're here to share with you as much as we possibly can. Thank you to everybody who subscribes. Hit the little bell. That little bell icon will notify you every time a new video is posted. Please share us with your friends and like the video if you get the opportunity. I know you will. That really helps. All right, methanol. Now, there's still a lot of discussion, and I'm okay with that. As a matter of fact, I welcome that. But it's so difficult to dispel the myth, the folklore, and really a lot of the untruths about this substance. And that's because there's so much fear around it. I got something running around upstairs. Where were we before I was interrupted? Oh, yeah, the fear that surrounds this topic. I'm here to try to help alleviate that fear again, all right? So bear with me. Now, listen, first of all, when you distill, oh, I love pictures. When you distill in that, what do we always say, in a 5-gallon batch, okay? Because that's what we're most accustomed to. If you're going to do 10 gallons, yeah, double it. If you're going to do 15, yeah, triple it. Whew. The first 2 ounces that you collect is going to be methanol. It comes off at 145 degrees. That's where it's separated. It's not made. It's there. If you would take that stuff, that jar, make it 4 ounces if you want to, and then walk outside and pour it in the grass. Just get rid of it. You're done. Okay? Now, oh boy. Once you've done that, let's say that you've got this 5 gallons in here and you're running the first, and then you want to redistill that. Here's the question I get most often. Do I have to do this again? Scratch your head. Think about this. Once it's gone, it's gone. You don't create methanol, okay? You separate it. Just like you don't create the ethanol here. It's already there. You just separate it. So once it's gone, it's gone. So if you redistill this, no, you don't have 4 shots. There is no methanol there. Have we settled that? Jeez, that's a good one. Now, I posted a video. It's been quite some time ago, and it's really effective. It's a technique. Look, if you stop before ethanol and after methanol, anything that's produced, just toss it. Usually about 2 to 4 ounces, somewhere in that neighborhood. But here's what happens. And you know them too. There are people out there that'll watch the video. They get to that point and stop. Now, of course, I'm going to advocate, watch the whole video. But it's up to you. But they'll get to that point and stop. Shut the video off and go do it. And then they'll call me and say, hey, there's nothing coming out at 165. I'll usually ask them, have you watched the rest of the video? Because I explained in there that each still has its own sweet spot. And guess what? Every mash doesn't have that much methanol. So you're going to have some, like in a sugar wash. You may have a half or a quarter of an ounce. Just a real minute, I mean so minute, it's almost not there. So they're stopping 165 and nothing's happening. I'm like, okay, keep going. Whatever it starts producing, just throw out the first 2 ounces. Just look, it's universal now. Just throw out the first 2 ounces, everybody's happy. Happy, 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 okay? But they'll stop the video, and that's as far as they go. And what I do is I'll give you credit. Somebody out there will go back and watch the rest of the video and then send the follow-up email that says, oops, yeah, I just saw that. Okay, I got you, okay? But please, just be polite. You know, watch the video and then go ahead and do what you're going to do, all right? So it's only a technique. It's not an absolute necessity. All right. Now, when we talk about methanol in the separation process, once it's gone, it's gone, so you don't have to do it again. Remember that when we make a mash, when we make a wort, that's for beer, and when we make, gosh, I'm trying to remember, what do we call the wine? A must. What we've done in all three cases is we've introduced water, fermentable sugars, yeast, and then we fermented. Now, the fermentation process is what creates that activity of the yeast consuming those fermentable sugars and then expelling ethanol and also expelling CO2 as a byproduct with a bunch of other little things. Primarily in your fruits, it will produce a little bit more methanol. In your wines, in your fruits, in some of your beers, excuse me, and in some of your all-grain mashes. It's just there. It's a scientific thing. It happens, okay? Biologically, it happens. So that production takes place during the fermentation process. See, the only difference is that when we take it from here and we pour this in here, we're smarter than the average bear. We separate it. Yeah. I know now you're wondering, where am I going with this? Okay, now if we get so wrapped around the axle about this in here, when do we separate this from this or this? And you're correct. We don't. What we do is we take this and this, and once it's all finished, we just spread that same methanol we produced, we just spread that all the way across that batch into a bunch of different bottles, and the amount now is so minute that there's no effect, except for you drink a little too much of it, you get a nice hangover, okay? We separate it because we know that it is a catalyst for producing hangovers, so, and we're capable of separating, so we do. That's it. Oh God, I shake my head and I wonder something. No, that is it. We're not doing it here or not doing it here, but we're doing it here. But all of a sudden, this becomes the problem. I hear it all the time. I don't want to kill myself. I don't want to go blind. I don't want to poison my neighbor. I don't either. But yeah, you'll go out and buy a 6-pack of beer and drink it, or you'll sit down and chug down a whole bottle of red wine. Maybe not all of it, but you'll do that and without any care. All right, and one more thing. Yep, this happens. Somebody's going to call in and say, well, what if I just bring this up to 145 degrees and let that methanol escape, or do the same thing to this, and then I don't have methanol in my wine or in my beer? Go at it. I don't care. Nobody else does that, but hey, it's totally up to you. I think I've made my point. Happy distilling.